I don't care what everyone likes. Captain Bone doesn't play Fortnite. I remember when the world was nothing more than a 2D plane. But in the mid-90s everything started to change. Suddenly 2D wasn't enough and everyone was looking for an extra D. A third D if you will. In 1995 Toy Story came out and suddenly everything had to be 3D. Heck, even after I saw Toy Story, I wanted to be in the third dimension. Man, what a movie. I wonder what I'd be like in 3D. And that's how I was born. But then video games started to go 3D. He had Earthworm Jim 3D, Duke Nukem 3D, Bubsy 3D, all the classics. But you can't talk about 3D games of the mid-90s without talking about one of video games' most popular characters in his 3D adventure. Sonic 3D Blast, or Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, or Sonic 3D Good Time Fun Game, or whatever it's called in your region, is an isometric game released for the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and Sega Saturn in 1996. Unlike the previous Sonic games where you try and reach the end of the stage, here you need to destroy badniks to save the flickies inside, and take them back to the giant ring so you can either move on in the stage or finish the stage. I'm looking at the Genesis/Mega Drive version of the game on the Sonic Mega Collection compilation on the GameCube. Sonic 3D plays similar to previous Sonic games. You can go left and right and jump, but you can also go up and down. And since you can't crouch in this game, the B button makes you roll or do a spin dash. You need to destroy 5 badniks in each area and collect the flickies. The flickies will then follow you around until you jump through the giant ring where they're turned into numbers. Once all 5 flickies have been saved and converted into some digits, you can then move on to the next area of the stage. Most of the time you need to do this 3 times before completing the level. Rings are stored around for you to collect, and getting 100 of them will get you an extra life. There are also items from previous Sonic games here too. You have the speed shoe, the ring box, invincibility, a normal shield, a fire shield that protects you from fire, and there's also a new gold shield that lets you do a homing attack on enemies. This is the first instance of the homing attack in a Sonic game, and makes the game so much easier to play. The game looks good, but I prefer the look of the 2D Sonic games than to this one. This one looks like it's made from clay or something, which isn't a bad thing, I just don't think it fits in with the feel of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's meant to be the dude with attitude, but it's hard to show him with attitude when he looks like he's meant to be in Wallace and Gromit in the wrong trousers. The game has good music though, and the sound effects are what you expect for a Sonic game, with effects from previous games being used for some enemies, which I think is a nice touch. But the controls for this game are awful. Controlling Sonic is so hard. He slips and slides everywhere. He has no traction at all. It's like he's on ice, and this is only made worse when he is on ice. Attacking enemies is also a problem. The perspective makes it difficult to judge where you're attacking and where the enemy is. And when the aim of the game is to destroy enemies to get the flicky inside, attacking shouldn't be this difficult. The game also has some very light platforming elements, but because of the perspective they are very hard. But most of the time you can just jump right over them. Finding the badniks can also be a bit of a problem. Sometimes finding the last one can be a real slog, as a lot of times places look similar to each other, and it's hard to tell if you've already been there or not. This can make the levels last a long time. The game even tells you if you took too long to finish a stage. Another thing is if you get hit by a badnik, the flickies will fly away from Sonic and you'll need to go grab them. But sometimes they'll get stuck somewhere, like on lava, and the only way to get them back is by jumping in the lava, making you lose the flickies you may have already gotten back, and trying to judge where they are to pick them up is also a hassle. Each zone has 3 acts each. The first 2 acts have you collecting flickies, and the third act is a boss battle. And these suck! You can't judge where Dr. Robotnik is when you're attacking, and if you get hit, it's next to impossible to recover any rings you have, all because of the perspective. The worst part of this game is the main feature of this game. After you've gotten through 7 zones and defeated Dr. Robotnik, you'll see Sonic and the flickies fly away. But Dr. Robotnik stores his final weapon that he can use to conquer the world. After the credits, you see Dr. Robotnik juggling the Chaos Emeralds. Guess we gotta go collect those emeralds. Around each stage you'll find Tails and Knuckles, where you can deposit your rings. Once you deposit 50 rings or more, you'll be sent to a special stage. These stages are extremely easy. You are running on a bridge and need to collect 50 rings, then 100, then 150. Each stage gets faster, but it's not really an issue. You can't fall off the bridge, so you just have to avoid the spikes. Tails and Knuckles aren't too difficult to find, so you have plenty of chances to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Once you've collected all the Chaos Emeralds, you now have the ability to be Super Sonic. Not! Wayne's World reference. That's right, there's no Super Sonic in this game, but by having all the Chaos Emeralds, you do get to face off against Dr. Robotnik's final weapon. This boss battle isn't actually as hard as some of the previous boss battles. You need to avoid his attacks by either going off to the side or standing in the corner and jumping. Dr. Robotnik will then move onto the field and you can hit him. You go round the loop twice and the fight's over. Sonic then escapes through a giant ring and the Flickies thank him for his help, to which Sonic says, "I just did what I wanted to do. Nobody messes with my friends. See ya!" Okay. Bye, Sonic. Sonic 3D McFlurry's Island is not a game I'd recommend. When it first came out, I remember being excited to hire it from the video store, but was disappointed on how it was such a departure from the previous Sonic games. This is the first time I've ever finished the game. Heck, it's the first time I've ever gotten past the second zone. This game seems to be the start of the slippery slope the Sonic series was about to start going down. And I'm not just talking about the controls. Ah yes, living in the 3D era is quite exciting. I feel like I can just reach out and touch. But where do we go from here? Shrek's gone 4D, but we don't all have Shrek money. Maybe it's a good idea if we stay in the third dimension for a while. It's like what Strongbad said. Height, width, and for a limited time only. So enjoy it while you can, kids. Well, I'm gonna go research about fried rice. It really can't be that good, can it? But I guess that's why they call me Captain Bomb!
Wait, what?